Hollywood is a world that was designed to look as shiny as possible on the outside, but everybody knows that it can be extremely ugly on the inside. Some Hollywood stars that are beloved by the entire world turn out to be something else entirely that most of the public could not have seen coming. And sometimes, a single mistake can turn into a lifetime of career-ending chaos. Yeah, we all know this one. Kanye West was once a music and fashion icon, but his downfall has been nothing short of spectacular. His self-destructive spiral began with a series of erratic behaviors fueled by his bipolar disorder. While he's always been outspoken, his shocking anti-Semitic remarks on Twitter recently crossed the line, leading to massive backlash. But that's not the first time he's done that. Back in 2022, he lost major brand deals, including Adidas, costing him billions and stripping away his billionaire status overnight due to the same reasons. Then came his messy divorce from Kim Kardashian, which played out in the public eye. Instead of moving on, Kanye fixated on Kim's new relationship, harassing her and Pete Davidson on social media. His obsession didn't stop there. He bizarrely began dressing his new girlfriends like Kim, trying to recreate his past. Once celebrated for his genius, Kanye's personal and professional choices have left him alienated, his legacy tarnished, and his once unshakable empire crumbling before his eyes. Ingrid Bergman. Ingrid Bergman's career ruining wasn't too outrageous, but the consequences were pretty bad. The star of Casablanca and Gaslight appeared to be a typical woman of the time, married and happy to serve her husband. In reality, she was a free spirit who wanted to screw around like all her male co-stars. Though she was married to Peter Lindstrom, Bergman began an affair with her director on Stromboli, Roberto Rossellini. Bergman loved Rossellini, and when she got pregnant with his child, she left Lindstrom and her first kid to go off with the Italian director. For a woman to publicly admit an affair, leave her husband and have a child with the other man was an insane scandal. America was freaked out. The fervor went all the way to Washington when Senator Edwin C. Johnson proposed a bill that would require movies to be approved not just based on the moral content of the film itself, but also the moral character of the people involved in filmmaking. Johnson claimed that Bergman had perpetrated an assault upon the institution of marriage and was a powerful influence for evil. And he even tried to ban her from all future American films. Bergman stayed out of the country for 8 years, and though she continued to make films, her star status was permanently damaged by an affair of the heart. Amanda Bynes. Up next, we have one of the most promising child stars. Amanda Bynes appeared in her first commercial at age 7 before moving on to stage productions including Annie, The Secret Garden, and The Sound of Music. Following this, she landed a role in Nickelodeon's TV series All That, while simultaneously hosting her own program, The Amanda Show. From there, her success kept growing. She soon starred in several roles, including her part as Holly on the WB sitcom What I Like About You. Unfortunately, her fame went to her head, and she soon found her face printed on the front of tabloids for all the wrong reasons. Shortly after her retirement in 2012, Bynes was involved in a car accident with a police vehicle. She was arrested and charged with driving under the influence. She was then involved in 2 more hit-and-run car accidents and caught driving with a suspended license after her car was impounded. In 2013, Bynes was arrested for drug use in her New York City apartment lobby after reports that she had thrown a bong out her apartment window. For this, she was charged with reckless endangerment, drug possession, and tampering with evidence. Later that year, she reportedly started a fire near a residential driveway in California and was placed on psychiatric hold. Later, she went into a rehabilitation center. In 2014, she appeared to have turned her life around. However, not long after getting her license back, she was charged with driving under the influence and placed on psychiatric hold again. Fortunately for Bynes, she has finally managed to regain control of her finances and straighten out her life. She took time off from the tabloids, but as for her career, that's probably the end. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan was first recognized by the public for her starring role as the twins in Disney's remake of The Parent Trap. She then rose higher to fame during her roles in 2003's Freaky Friday and 2004's Mean Girls. However, stardom did not do Lohan any favors. As her fame grew, she began appearing in New York nightclubs, and her life quickly devolved into a stream of negative publicity in the tabloids. In 2007, Lohan was arrested after she crashed her Mercedes-Benz into a tree. 2 months later, she was arrested again for being involved in a car chase, during which she was also found to have cocaine. The result of this was 2 counts of driving under the influence and 1 count of reckless driving. She received the minimum sentence of 4 days in jail, although she only had to serve 1. Later in 2007, Lohan checked into rehab as required by her recent sentencing. When she was released, Lohan said that she wanted to stay sober and out of Los Angeles. After managing to stay clear of the press for a few years, she reappeared after being sentenced to 90 days in jail for missing a DUI hearing. In 2011, she was charged with the theft of a necklace from a jewelry store. Lohan has stopped appearing in tabloids these days, but we can confirm she's done with her career. Demi Lovato starred in Disney Channel's movie Camp Rock, as well as the show Sunny with a Chance. While she is now dominating the music scene, she had a really rocky patch in 2010. She made headlines when she punched a backup dancer while on tour with the Jonas Brothers. She then checked herself into rehab, where she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The singer had been battling that, as well as addiction and bulimia, for years. She couldn't go half an hour without cocaine. While a lot of people would try to cover up these experiences or be ashamed of them, Lovato is very open about her mental health issues. She uses her fame to speak up about eating disorders and body image. Since her Disney days, Lovato has voiced Smurfette for the Smurfs and appeared in Glee. She is about to release her 6th studio album. Although she had a couple of rough years, she didn't let it slow down her career. Will Smith. Alright, this one shouldn't come as a surprise. All Will Smith had to do at the 2022 Oscars was show up and collect the Best Actor prize for King Richard, which he was predicted to win. But then, Best Documentary Feature presenter Chris Rock cracked some jokes, including one at the expense of Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, he said, likening the actor to Demi Moore in a 90s military drama. Jada Pinkett Smith rolled her eyes, annoyed. Will Smith laughed. And then, very quickly, Smith grew darkly serious, marched up to the stage, and violently slapped Rock. Smith kept the confrontation going from his seat. Moments later, Smith won his Academy Award. In a tearful speech, Smith attempted to explain away his earlier actions. Love will make you do crazy things. He'd apologized to Rock in an Instagram post the next day and receive a 10-year ban on attending the Academy Awards. Apple, the distributor of Smith's next movie, Emancipation, delayed the release of the completed film. A Bad Boys sequel, announced in 2020, didn't enter production until 2023, which put some more distance between Smith and his Oscars outburst. Mel Gibson. Perhaps the most successful actor and director on this list, Gibson saw his life take a dramatic downturn due to a series of personal and professional controversies. His troubles began in the early 2000s with allegations of anti-Semitism, which surfaced after a 2006 DUI arrest. This incident severely tarnished his public image and led to widespread condemnation. Gibson's personal life also suffered. In 2010, a highly publicized breakup with then-girlfriend Oksana Grigorieva led to accusations of domestic abuse and the release of tapes where Gibson was heard making racist and misogynistic comments. These scandals, combined with ongoing issues related to alcoholism and anger management, further damaged his reputation. The culmination of these incidents resulted in Gibson being ostracized in Hollywood for several years, with studios and collaborators distancing themselves from him. While he has attempted a comeback with some success, such as directing the critically acclaimed film Hacksaw Ridge in 2016, his earlier actions have left a lasting stain on his career and personal life, illustrating how destructive personal behavior can be to one's public and professional standing. Well, that's all for today's video on stars who ruined their careers. Can you recall any famous names whose careers also ended abruptly? Do let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.